Disclaimer. This content is for informational purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Always consult your doctor for any health concerns. This content was supported by artificial intelligence technologies.
Let's dive right in. We're going to talk about that feeling, that deep in your bones tired that just doesn't seem to go away no matter what you do. Sound familiar? You get a full night's sleep, you wake up, and you're still just running on fumes. It's that incredibly frustrating feeling, like your tank should be full, but the needle's stuck on empty. You know, the usual advice is always the same, isn't it? Just sleep more, or you need to manage your stress. And yeah, that helps, but for so many of us, it's just not cutting it. It feels like we're missing something much deeper. Well, that's because the answer isn't just one thing. It's a whole network of incredibly powerful systems inside your body. Think of it like a symphony orchestra. When every musician is in sync, you get this beautiful, vibrant music, which in our case is energy. But if just one section is out of tune, the whole thing sounds off. So today, we're going to take a look at that orchestra. And our journey starts with the most important part, the conductor. This is your body's master clock, your circadian rhythm. It's the one setting the tempo for absolutely everything else. So what is it really? Your circadian rhythm is basically your body's own internal 24-hour clock. And it's not just about sleep. This clock is constantly sending out signals, telling your body when it's time to digest food, when to repair cells, and when to release certain hormones. It's the master coordinator for the entire show. And look, this quote from Dr. Sachin Panda, who is a giant in this field, just says it all. Our bodies are literally designed to follow this clock. The more we can align our lives with it, the better everything runs. It's when we start to fight it that our energy just tanks. And just to give you an idea of how powerful this conductor is, look at this number, about 80%. Dr. Panda's research shows that nearly 80% of our genes are on a schedule, turning on and off according to this daily rhythm. I mean, that's wild. This isn't some minor system. It's written into our very biology. So how do we end up fighting our own clock? Well, a big one is when we eat. The modern way for a lot of us is grazing over a 15-hour window, sometimes longer. This constantly interrupts the body's nighttime repair crew. But when you switch to aligned eating, what's often called time-restricted eating, and you shrink that window down to about 10 hours, you give your body the precious downtime it needs to restore and repair itself. Okay, so we have our conductor, the circadian rhythm. Now let's bring in the rhythm section of the orchestra, your gut. You see, the timing of when we eat has a massive direct impact on what's happening in what many scientists now call our second brain. And the key idea here is something called intestinal permeability, or maybe you've heard it called leaky gut. So imagine your gut lining is like a very fine mesh screen, only letting the good stuff through. Well, with leaky gut, that screen gets damaged and has bigger holes in it. Suddenly, things that should stay out, like toxins and undigested food, can leak right into your bloodstream, and your immune system goes on high alert. And the signs of this problem are probably things you've experienced. It's not just the obvious stuff like bloating. We're talking about that persistent fatigue, brain fog, where you just can't focus, skin issues, even suddenly reacting to foods you used to eat all the time. It really proves that what happens in the gut does not stay in the gut. So here it is, the big connection. That leak from your gut triggers this low-grade, body-wide inflammation. And keeping that inflammatory fire burning takes a ton of energy. It directly hits your brain, and that's where that feeling of brain fog and just overwhelming fatigue comes from. Okay, we've got our conductor and our rhythm section. Now let's talk about the brass section. You know, the part of the orchestra that can get really loud really fast? This is your body's stress response system, the HPA Axis. The HPA Axis is basically the communication highway between your brain and your adrenal glands. Its number one job is to manage how you react to stress, and it does that mainly by controlling the release of a hormone you've definitely heard of, cortisol. Now, cortisol gets such a bad rap, but it's not the enemy. It's actually our main get-up-and-go hormone. It's supposed to follow this beautiful natural rhythm, where it peaks in the morning to get you out of bed full of energy, and then it gently slopes down all day. The problem isn't cortisol itself, it's when that rhythm gets all messed up. And this is where we see how all these systems get locked into a nasty feedback loop. It starts with chronic stress, right? That keeps the HPA axis, the brass section, blaring all day long. That messes up your cortisol, which then messes up your sleep and your master clock. And get this, stress itself can make your gut leakier. That leaky gut then pours inflammatory fuel on the fire, which causes the brain fog and fatigue, which of course makes you feel more stressed out. And around we go. Okay, so that's the problem. And I know it can sound a little overwhelming, but here is the really great news. Because these systems are so connected, a small positive change in one area can create a huge positive ripple effect through the whole orchestra. So let's talk about a few simple tools to start tuning things up. First, a tool to quiet down that overactive brass section. It's called the 4-7-8 breath, and it's so easy. You just breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, hold it for 7, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. That long exhale is the magic trick. It literally flips the switch in your nervous system from fight or flight to rest and digest. Just doing this a few times can make a huge difference. Next, let's give our conductor some support. Try aiming for that 10-hour eating window we talked about. And here's a crucial rule of thumb. Finish your last meal at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. Why? It gives your digestive system a break, so your body can focus all its energy on deep cleaning and repair while you're asleep. Some key nutrients can also be a game changer. Magnesium is a big one, but here's the thing. Not all magnesium is the same. Magnesium glycinate is amazing for helping you relax and sleep because of that calming amino acid, glycine. That's one you want to take in the evening. Magnesium citrate, on the other hand, is great for helping with digestion, so that's better to take earlier in the day. And if you want to boost energy right at the source, let's talk about coenzyme Q10. This stuff literally fuels your mitochondria, the tiny little power plants inside every single one of your cells. Now, this is super important. CoQ10 is fat soluble. That means for your body to actually absorb it, you have to take it with a meal that has some fat in it. Taking it on an empty stomach just won't work. So, let's bring this all home. We've met the major players in our internal orchestra, the conductor, the rhythm section, and that loud brass section. We've seen how they can get out of sync and cause problems, but, and this is the important part, we've also seen how we can gently nudge them back into playing together beautifully. And really, that's the big takeaway here. Getting your energy back isn't about fighting fatigue with more caffeine or pushing yourself harder. It's about synchronizing these internal systems. It's about becoming a great conductor for your own orchestra so they can play in perfect harmony. So I'll leave you with this question. You don't have to do a massive overhaul tomorrow. What's just one rhythm you could focus on? Maybe it's just trying that 4-7-8 breath once today. Or maybe it's just closing your eating window 1 hour earlier tonight. What's the one small thing you can do to start tuning up your orchestra?